What's up, you guys? I'm Zach, and in this video we're continuing talking about the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps. In this video specifically focusing on baby step number 6, which is paying off your mortgage early. So heck yeah, if you're on baby step 6, then you are almost at the finish line, which is amazing. And you know, by this point you're also working baby step 4, which is putting into retirement, baby step 5, which is helping your kids save up for college, and you're just kind of killing it in general. But your house is most likely your largest asset, and if you can get it all the way paid off so that you are 100% debt-free, house and everything, you are going to be in such a good position. And your net worth is really going to be super epic and something to be super proud of. You might be on your way to being an everyday millionaire. So anyway, I'm not going to go into the whole underlying thesis of the baby steps, because if you're on baby step number 6, then you're already more than familiar with the program and already way on top of everything else that you need to know, like your budget. You're not going more into debt. But if you're not actually on baby step 6, if you're not ready to be paying down extra on your house, like maybe you're still in debt, or maybe you don't have an emergency fund saved up, then I would say go check out my other videos on the baby steps. I'm gonna put a little tag for the playlist, and I would recommend checking out all of those and getting familiar with the baby steps to figure out which one you're on and what you need to do going forward. So all that said, you're a baller. If you're on baby step 6, way to kill it. In my opinion, this is definitely the most epic of all the baby steps, as far as ones that aren't like, yeah, you're done, you know, live generously and build wealth, because you're working on getting your house paid off. And picture a life where you have no rent payment, no mortgage payment, and all the stuff that you could do with the money freed up in your budget. That would be amazing, and I'm getting excited just thinking about it for you. Way to go. So there's not a whole lot that goes into this. Obviously, you're just using some of the extra money in your budget each month to kind of put down extra chunks onto your payment. You know, maybe you're making your payment plus a couple $100s each month, or maybe you're even doing just your payment plus $100. Either way, you're gonna start knocking out your mortgage before you know it. So a question that is very frequently asked is, am I supposed to work really hard and fast on this? And the answer is, if you want to, you definitely can, but Dave Ramsey teaches that after baby step 3, you can kind of take your foot off the gas. You know, you've knocked out your debt and you've knocked out an emergency fund. He obviously gives you the guidance of you need to be putting 15% of your income into retirement savings, and also if you can, you should be saving up for your kids' college in baby step 4 and 5. But besides that, when you're in baby step 4, 5, and 6, this is the time to enjoy your money a little bit. You know, go on a vacation or upgrade your car. This is the time where you can have a little bit more fun. But if you're like me, I know that I'm going to really enjoy knocking down my mortgage payment and the balance on it, so that I can just see I'm so much closer to getting my house entirely paid off. And maybe it would be worth holding off on upgrading a camera or taking a trip one year to be able to make that go extra faster. Obviously, I'm gonna have to fight my wife on that, but if I could do it, it might be worth it. So for you, if you put a high level of value on getting your mortgage paid off as quickly as possible, then go for it. Either way, here are a couple tips that you can use to just kind of make it go a little faster, some without even having to really think about it, and some you're gonna need to make some conscious, thought out decisions if these certain events were to happen. So the first step is kind of hands-on, and it's just to make extra payments if you have the room in your budget. So you're out of debt and you're not trying to save up for an emergency fund anymore, you're probably gonna wind up having a little bit of room in your budget where you can throw an extra couple $100s a month at your mortgage, and that'll be super cool. So if you want to look and pre-plan to do that, then that'll be awesome. So the next way you can make huge progress on your house is to take any sudden monetary windfalls you get and apply big chunks to your house. Now, be sure if you're getting, like, for instance, a huge life insurance check, that you take some time with this. And a couple days or a couple weeks to think on it isn't going to change your life radically. So be sure to be kind of cautious as you're going into these huge $100,000 or tens of $1,000s amounts, to make sure that you are being very intentional with what you're doing. Another thing to note is that Dave says there's only 3 things you can do with money. You can spend it, you can save it, and you can give it away. And maybe you should consider doing each of those 3 things if you were to get a huge windfall like that. You know, maybe you give some to your church, and maybe you take a trip that you've always been wanting to take, and then maybe you take the rest and you apply it towards your house. Another tactic for paying down your mortgage early is to ask your lender to set you up with every other week payments. And when you do this, and I'll put a little graphic with the math on the screen because it's tricky for me to explain. When you do this, you wind up paying 13 months worth of payments as opposed to 12 months of payments in a year. So You know, it's kind of sneaky, kind of sly way to trick yourself into making extra payments, but you're probably not going to feel the difference of money because it's every 2 weeks right when you get your paycheck anyway. And the last way I would kind of suggest to work on this, and it's very roundabout, and this is definitely not a Dave Ramsey endorsed or sponsored kind of way of doing this, is I would think it would be really cool to make improvements to your house that would raise the value of it. And obviously this does not help your mortgage balance go down, but in my mind, I think it would be equally cool to make the value of the house go up so that the liability to asset ratio is way more in your favor. And you're still going to be trying to knock down the balance on your mortgage, but if you can take a $250,000 house and make it worth $300,000, you know, but you still owe $50,000 either way, pretty cool. Imagine how good you're gonna feel when you don't have any payments on anything. Obviously, I'm not talking about Netflix or Sprint or whatever, but when you have no credit card payments or loans or mortgage payment even, you don't even have to pay to live in your house. That is gonna be a baller time to be alive. So keep that in mind, that that's the goal, and obviously this is a long game, couple of years, 10, maybe even 15-year plan to get you out of your mortgage very faster than you would have. But it will be worth it. And just put yourself in the shoes of you in a couple years who will have already done the work and paid off your mortgage balance down to zero. And just think how awesome it's going to feel to be that person. And then keep that person in mind as you're working it. You know, there are going to be days, and probably along this whole process you've experienced this, but there are going to be days where you feel like, this is stupid. Why am I putting in this effort? It seems like the gain or the reward I'm going to reap is going to be years from now and not too big, not too valuable, but you got to push through those. And who are you doing that for? You're doing it for your kids. You're doing it for your spouse. You're doing it for that future you who has no weight on you at all. No weight of owing on a house. No weight of owing on a credit card. You just get to be you, and you'll have so much of your income freed up where you can do whatever you want. If you picked your house based off Dave Ramsey's recommendation of having your rent or mortgage be no more than a quarter of your take-home pay, picture having an extra 25% of your money freed up to do whatever you want with. You'll be able to invest. You'll be able to save up even faster for your kids' college, knock it out. You'll be able to start up new businesses or just be really generous to people who might be in need, especially during these crazy times with coronavirus and the quarantine and everything like that. It would feel really good to have no house payment right now. And I know that's not where a lot of us are at. That's not where I'm at. But the reason that we do these things and set us up for future success is so that if something crazy were to happen again, something unpredictable, unexpected were to happen, we're going to be in the best position possible because we were responsible now. And that's just a really exciting thought to me. I want to be killing it now for future me to be comfy. Heck yeah. So that's pretty much it on baby step 6. Comment below if you have any thoughts on this subject. Are you trying to pay your house down early? Do you think there's a benefit to paying your house off in the exact right amount of time that your loan was for? What do you kind of think around this whole subject? Do you even believe in the baby steps or what Dave Ramsey teaches? I would love to hear what you think below. As always, if you liked this video, please go ahead and just click the like button and, you know, maybe comment something and be like, Zach, cool video, thanks. It makes me feel really good and makes me smile. So I hope you have an epic day, and I'm so thankful that you watched. Also, real quick, before you go ahead and click the subscribe button. I post lots of great content on financial peace and making sound investments, as well as general productivity, and also some stuff about photography, which I think is real fascinating. And I would love to have you along as I'm posting these videos and going more in depth with each topic each week. Hope you have an epic day. Thank you so much for watching. Dinosaur logo.